Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Soph. For today's video, I am going to be talking about my kind of spooky October TBR. Now, this month, because I'm filming in September, I decided to mood read, and honestly, it worked out the best for me. I've read about 8 books this month, which is the most that I've read in a very long time. And yeah, I think that's just like the best way forward for me personally. But I still like doing TBRs because I like using my generator. I like forcing myself to read books that I don't lean towards, because sometimes I do find ones that I really like. However, this month is all about the spooky vibes, and so I have picked up, not all I don't think, but a whole bunch of spooky, thrillery kind of vibes from my shelves and put them into a pile. And it's not a set TBR, but it is what I would like to get read, because I always leave them for spooky season and then I just don't read them. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm just going to share with you my hopeful TBR for spooky season for October, leading up to Halloween. Some of these books have been on my shelf since I started BookTube last year and I have not touched them. So, and some of them were hauled quite recently, so I won't go into those ones too much either, because I've got a few that were literally in my last video, so I won't go into them, but I will revisit the blurbs and descriptions of some of these books. And yeah, I'm just going to stop rambling and get into the spooky vibes. So first up we have House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. This follows 3 sisters who go missing, and then one day they turn up but they do not remember literally anything. They have no recollection of what's happened to them, and then one of them goes missing again, and it follows the story of where whatever happened to them before is kind of like calling them back again. So yeah, I think it sounds really good, and it's quite a short little book, so I'm really annoyed that I haven't got to this yet. I'm excited for that one. And then we have a YA novel called This Lie Will Kill You by Chelsea Pitcher. This follows, so there was a party a year ago and someone has died and nobody knows the truth about that situation, and then 5 of the survivors of the party turn up, get invited to another party. It says, in a contest with a $50,000 prize. Nobody questions the odd, rather exclusive invitation until it's too late. 5 arrive, but not all can leave. Will the truth set them free, or will their lies destroy them all? So yeah, this is a YA novel, so I'm not expecting it to be like the greatest murder mystery of all time, but it does give me I Know What You Did Last Summer vibes, which makes me very excited to read it. So yeah, another quite short one. We then have the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This is one of the ones that I spoke about recently, but it basically follows a book club, and the main lady of the book is kind of bored in her marriage, and she meets this guy and she has this connection with him, but then back literally says she doesn't know if he's a Brad Pitt, a Bundy, or something much worse. So I think this sounds really good. This is on the chunkier side, but look how floppy it is. Literally perfect. I have been itching to read this, so honestly I might read this towards the end of September going into October, because I have been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, but I just really want to read it. We then have Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. Now, I have spoken about this before and I absolutely adored the TV show, and I know that this book is very different to the show, but I feel like I have to read it because of how much I loved the show. And this is a modern classic, so that gives me another reason to read it. But the blurb just says, alone in the world, Eleanor is delighted to take up Dr. Montague's invitation to spend a summer in the mysterious Hill House. Joining them are Theodora, an artistic sensitive, and Luke, heir to the house. But what begins as a light-hearted experiment is swiftly proven to be a trip into the darkest nightmares, and an investigation that one of the number may not survive. I think I did actually begin reading this, but at a time where I wasn't really in the mood for it, and I think one of them is like a skeptic, maybe the Doctor or maybe Eleanor. One of them is a skeptic. The other, when it says artistic sensitive, it means like psychic. And then the other person is just the owner of the house. So I think, again, this might be one that I start quite soon because it is really short, but it could be deceiving because it's written, it's not, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like modern writing. It's more like, if you imagine like Frankenstein and Dracula, it's more towards that side of the writing style. Like, so the writing style may make it a slower read, but I mean, honestly, the font's not even that bad, so I'm really excited for this one. We then have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I've been meaning to get to this for quite a while now. I bought it not that long ago. And from what I remember, our main character has served 10 years in prison for a murder he may or may not have committed, and now a detective has gone in to talk to him to find out the truth behind what actually happened. And what did happen was that somebody died during a production of a play, and basically it's the guy who's in prison started to realise that people were playing their parts both in theatre and out of theatre. Some of them were villains, some of them were heroes. So yeah, it sounds really, really good. I don't want to reread the blurb really because I want to go in not knowing that much, because obviously it is like a thriller. And yeah, I'm excited for that. I feel like I've said that for all the books, but honestly, spooky season is my season, and it breaks my heart to know that I've not really read any spooky season books, really. Then have Survive the Night, which I spoke about the other day. It basically follows a girl who gets a lift share using a university car share scheme, and around the same time there is news reports of a campus killer, and as she's on this journey with this stranger, she begins to think that this person may be the campus killer, and she has to survive the night. Then we have the Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Again, I literally spoke about this last week on my last video, and it follows a support group full of final girls from massacres, and one of them doesn't turn up to a meeting, and they all begin to realise that maybe their past are like coming back for them, or somebody knows about the group and is trying to take them out one by one. We then have Final Girls by Rayleigh Sager. Again, there's a theme here, and this follows 3 final girls. One of them goes missing, one of them turns up on the doorstep of the other, and now they're like trying to survive, and they feel like their past is coming back to get them. Again, I spoke about that one the other day. If you want the blurb, then please go check out that video. And then the last one that I've got in my pile here is actually a graphic novel or a comic by Stephen King and Owen King, and it's called Sleeping Beauties, and this is part 1. There is a town where a lot of the women have fallen under a illness called Aurora, where they sleep. That is the sickness, that they sleep. Honestly, to me that sounds bliss, but all of the victims are women, there are no men. It just follows that. I don't really want to know too much, to be honest, but the style is like very comic-y, and I love Stephen King. I say I love Stephen King. This is where I'm gonna be a bit honest here. I haven't fully read a Stephen King book, but I do love his movies. However, I do have Stephen King down here, and I do hope to read at least one this October, because I would like to say that I have read them. But I have It, Outsider, The Institute, and Everything Eventual. I want to get things like Carrie and Pet Sematary, and I can't remember what the other one was that I had my eye on, but I want to have a collection of his books, and then maybe I'll just do like a Stephen King vlog. Yeah, so that's all the kind of spooky books that are on my radar for this month. I'm sure I probably have others out there. I mean, for one, the latest Fairy Loot book, Belladonna, is a gothic novel and sounds really, really good. We have Her Majesty's Royal Coven, so we've got some witches. That sounds really, really good, but I don't want to put too much on me because I may or may not read any of these. Maybe I will mood read again and won't be in the mood for most of these. That's what I'm aiming to read, is a bunch of thrillers and spookiness. Last year I read a lot of witchy books. This year I'm going for thrillers and murders. So let me know what's on your spooky TBR, because I need more spooky. I actually thought I had more spooky stuff than what I do, so I need some more. So if you have any that you think I might like, then please let me know. And yeah, just let me know what you're reading at the moment, and I will see you in the next video. But don't forget to give us a big thumbs up if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a video. Bye guys!